Submarines: A Turning Point in History by Elias, Kunda, and Elliott Rogers. In 1620, the first submarine, called the diving boat, changed the course of history as it showed the capability of an underwater exploration or combat device. Hundreds of years later, submarines were further developed, and devices such as the turtle submarine or U-boats changed how other submarines would be developed. All of these events led to the creation of the Nautilus, which is considered the first real submarine. It changed how submarines would be used forever with its amazing underwater capabilities. The Nautilus is a turning point in history due to it changing how submarines would be made forever, causing other countries to adopt similar designs and helping further the understanding of the ocean and what lies below. Going back to the start of submarines with Cornelius Drebbel and his diving boat. The earliest built submarine was made in 1620 by Cornelius Drebbel, a Dutchman working under King James I of England. Cornelius Drebbel was an apprentice to Hendrik Goltzius, who introduced him to alchemy, leading to Cornelius's interest in making new inventions. His inventions intrigued King James I, in turn inviting Cornelius to England and working under the king. The submarine he made was known as the diving boat and was covered in greased leather. He used 4 oars and a rudder to move and steer. He continued improving his diving boat and made 2 bigger submarines that could carry more people. The diving boat showed the possibility of a submarine being useful, which led to another inventor, David Bushnell, creating the Turtle many years later, which was a more advanced submarine made for the intention of combat. David Bushnell was a student at Yale College, where he tested many underwater explosives. These tests inspired him to make a submarine that ended up resembling 2 turtle shells up against each other, that he suitably named the Turtle. His graduation in the summer of 1775 coincided with the beginning of the Revolutionary War, and some in the Continental Congress, including Benjamin Franklin, felt that Bushnell's idea would be a useful weapon against the Royal Navy. The Turtle was then deployed on multiple missions after. On its first mission, it slowly moved towards its target, being a ship in the British blockade, and attempted to attach an explosive to its hull. All its combat attempts would fail, but in turn show the capability of the Turtle's underwater power. The Turtle's failure did not end in vain, however, as one of the most important figures in submarine history, John Philip Holland, read about accounts of naval combat in submarines, most likely being the Turtle in the Civil War. John Philip Holland was one of the greatest contributors to the modern-day submarine because he applied many new designs and technologies still used today. John Philip Holland's real breakthrough came by combining the lessons of the past and modern propulsion, specifically the electric motor, the electric battery, and the internal combustion engine. John did, however, attempt to create a submarine called the Fenian Ram with the support of the Fenian Society. The project, however, ran into a blockade. After the Fenian Society believed the sub was costing them too much money, and they ended the project soon after. Decades later, during World War I, a new submarine entered the battlefield. U-boats were deployed and were extremely successful and dominant in combat. They were far more sophisticated than any other submarines owned by other navies and could hold 35 people, 12 torpedoes, and could stay submerged for up to 2 hours. The Germans used these subs to cut off supplies from the British, and they were ordered to destroy any ship that wasn't German. This soon led to American vessels being destroyed and America joining the war soon after. The U-boat's strength and combat abilities showed the capability of submersibles, and U-boats became the precursor to the most important submarine. Inspired by the U-boat's great technology, American scientists and inventors created a new, amazing submarine called the USS Nautilus. The Nautilus was launched and commissioned in September 1954 by the U.S. She was the first nuclear-powered submarine and used an S-2W pressurized water nuclear reactor. The Nautilus could hold a crew of 104 people and had many accommodating features, such as a library, ping pong, television, and a record player. She was swift for her size, being able to reach 22 knots above water and 23 below. The Nautilus was 323 feet long and displaced 4,092 tons. The Nautilus was revolutionary in naval combat, being able to submerge itself underwater for months or even years if required, according to naval historian Don Keith. It could hold many torpedoes, great military technology, and was highly advanced for its time. The Nautilus also paved the way for the use of nuclear energy, with no other vessels using it. She was an extremely successful submarine and showed how nuclear energy could be used yet still be safe and successful. Commander Eugene P. Wilkinson, the first commander of the Nautilus, said underway on nuclear power regarding the Nautilus's drastic improvement compared to its prior vessels. One of the Nautilus's missions was to traverse the North Pole, which had never been done before. This was done as a demonstration of the Nautilus's power. However, the important mission took 3 attempts to complete due to navigation issues throughout the mission. The Nautilus showed how much more advanced it was compared to its predecessors by spearheading the use of nuclear power and changing maritime combat forever. The development of submarine technology has had a significant impact on the design and performance of submarines. With the integration of nuclear power and other enhancements, submarines have become faster, stealthier, and better equipped with advanced weaponry. These upgrades have made submarines an important asset for navies all around the world, and their continued use has made them a turning point in maritime exploration and warfare. Submarine importance in navies around the world forced scientists and inventors to design creative but effective ways to rescue people trapped in submarines. Thanks to innovative people such as Charles Momsen, technologies have been developed, such as the Momsen lung, which was a device worn around the neck that would recycle air, giving submariners a chance to reach the surface. Another device created by Momsen was the submarine rescue chamber. It was an air-filled chamber that would be lowered down to a submarine from a ship, where the submariners would board the chamber and be brought to the surface. The stank hood was a device created by Harris Stank that covered the sailor's head and provided air during the sailor's rise. These inventions have improved the chances of survival, and each of these devices have saved countless lives over the years. Submarines have undoubtedly made their mark on history with numerous achievements to their name. One of the most remarkable of these was during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where the U.S. submarines played a crucial role in monitoring Soviet activity and preventing a potential nuclear war. In addition, submarines have a history of being deployed in various conflicts, including World War II, where they sank enemy ships and gathered valuable intelligence, while remaining unnoticed. The use of submarines has revolutionized naval warfare and continues to be an integral part of modern military strategy. The invention of the submarine was a turning point in history due to it changing the way naval warfare was conducted, proving to be crucial in both world wars and expanding the possibilities for maritime exploration and science.